Okay. Hi guys, just came out from the cinema watching Tron ARES. So just a quick summary of the movie. I think that if you are someone that likes world building, if you're someone that likes the visual effects, if you're the type that likes to feel immersed in the world that the movie is trying to portray to you, then I believe this is something that you like. But if you like something that is like the plot that is very complex plot, a plot that requires you to think a lot, then I think maybe this movie is not for you. So okay, let me go through what I like and what I don't like about this movie. So what I like about the movie, I feel that the visuals is very nice, the visual effects is very nice, the world building, the grid especially, which is the digital world, I feel is something that is like portrayed, that's being narrated very nicely. It walks us through like what is the grid, what is the digital world like. So I think that part is a very strong point of the movie. The visual effects, the cinematography, the color gradings, basically the visual that you see in the movie, you will feel like you're very immersed in that movie. If you feel like you're totally like, for that 2 hours, you're locked in that digital world that Tron is trying to introduce you into. So there's something that is very strong. I believe in like 10 to 15 years time, people will look back at this movie and say, hey, you know what? Actually, this movie was kind of ahead of its time when it comes to like the special effect, the scenes, the visual effects. So people might say that in the next 10 or 15 years. I hope so, because that's what I think it's something that people will appreciate in the long term. For now, maybe people will feel like, wow, okay, and then you forget about it in the next 1 or 2 years. But in the long term, I believe when you rewatch back this after 10 years, you feel like, wow, the visual effects are way ahead of its time. So that's the first thing that I like. The second thing that I like about this movie, I would say the soundtrack is very good. I'm not sure whether you call this the soundtrack or the score. Daft Punk music, like those electro synth music, electron pop music. So a lot of this movie, a lot of parts of this movie, they're actually using this type of like sound effects or scores to move you into from one scene into the other scene, or like this special scene, and then they'll like to use this like kind of electro pop background music. So if you like those type of music, then you probably love this movie as well. So this is the two things that I really like about this movie: the visuals and the sound effects. So what I think is that this movie is more like an experience movie. It's a good movie for you to experience, for you to feel what it's like in a Tron world. So yeah, I think that's one strong point of the movie. There's also a few things I kind of dislike about this movie. So I actually watched this movie in IMAX. I feel that at certain parts of the movie, the sound was so loud. Like even my watch was telling me, oh, you're in a very loud environment, and prolonged period in this loud environment, your hearing might be bad, it's bad for your hearing, etc. So it's very loud, and I'm not even sitting like just beside the speaker. I was sitting quite in the middle, a row G, and it's quite in the middle as well. So it is very loud. I'm not sure whether this is the volume issue of the hall, or is it generally this happens for all of the Tron ARES movie. And the other thing is the acting. The acting I wouldn't say is something that I dislike, but it just feel like, okay, everyone is at this okay level. There's no one that is like doing above the normal level. So everyone is at, okay, this is a normal level. So no one is like doing the extra mile to give the effort to give like a very good acting, I feel. So acting wise, everyone is just okay. So I would say, yeah, if you like to be immersed in this like world, that in this digital world, in this in this grid environment, then I think you will like this movie. If you're looking for like a deep plot, a very complex plot, then maybe you need to manage your expectation, I would say. But if you are looking to just to get entertained, to just have the experience of how this digital world is like, then I think you'll like this movie. My rating for this movie is around 3.5 to 4 out of 5. I feel the digital part, I mean the visual part, visual effects, sound effects really saved the movie. If the visual effect was bad, the sound effect was bad, this could have been like a 2.5 or 2 out of 5. But because the visual is so good and I get immersed so deeply into the visuals, in the visual world that is portrayed by the director and the actors, I feel this is like a strong, okay lah, I think it's 4 out of 5. For me, it's a 4 out of 5. So I'll definitely rewatch it, and also please watch it in IMAX. Then I think, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys again next time.